Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be how to use a paper planner for beginners. So I believe that this video will make sure to help everybody, even if you're not a beginner. I think there's helpful tips that hopefully I can provide you regardless of your planning level. But for anyone who is new, I want you to feel confident in your ability to use a paper planner. So if you are new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun. And of course, because I cover all sorts of stuff, so you're going to want to be part of it. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you here. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so of course I am using a Happy Planner for this illustration. If you're not familiar with Happy Planner, it's a disc-bound system. It is great for starting planning. It's great for colorful and fun, but there's lots of different paper planners out there. So don't feel like this does not apply to you. It's good for any paper planner that you're going to find on the market, and it's going to be helpful to just kind of see how I use things and what you can do to use it. So we're going to start with the whole planner, but we're going to start with the now this particular planner was a planner I had back in August, and I bought it. It was part of the student release for Happy Planner. I quickly stopped using it after I started using it, so it's very blank, and it was a perfect planner for me to show you. But we're going to start with the yearly overview. Now I did a full video on this, and I will link it in the description, so after you're done watching this video you can check it out if you're curious on how to use this. But this is basically an overview of 2 years, and obviously this one's 2018 and 2019. For this purposes, this year's already over, but you know, you can kind of get an idea. So you can use these in just a tremendous amount of ways. But primarily, this does not show you very much, especially for this particular planner, because the days of the weeks are not listed as far as like which days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yada, yada, yada. So what I have used these for, though, is to track a day of the month that is significant for you. And like I said, I've linked a video below. I'll link a video below about this. But it is basically a way to get an overview. So you can look, if you're tracking, you know, maybe you want to track a bill that you have to pay that's not a normal bill, like a once a year, like a tax bill or something. You can put it on here and not really have to worry about it. But it's just a great overview to see. Now, if your planner has, this one does not, but if your planner has a perpetual calendar on it, and I will show you what a perpetual calendar is using my Erin Condren planner. Perpetual calendar is a calendar that basically is just written down line by line each day of the year. And what this is great for is Happy Planner does have some. Obviously, Erin Condren is the one that I'm pulling out, and I love the way that they have it loose, and I love this. But what a perpetual calendar is, it's basically like if you have a wedding to go to, and it's, you know, it's out in September. You're not going to be planning September right now, but you might need to write that particular event down. So you're going to go to that day in your perpetual calendar and put Sam's wedding or Todd's, well, I guess Todd's funeral wouldn't work, but Todd's wedding, or, you know, whatever it might be. And just really be able to keep track of the overview of it. Or maybe you have a conference to go to and you know that there's certain dates that each conference happens and you want to be able to track it. Maybe you're part of a work that they set conferences, and so you want to be able to look at those things way ahead of time, so you know not to conflict with scheduling, but you're not really planning for that month at that time. So it's a great way to do that. Start of school's another great thing to plan. If you have family coming into town and you know you're planning far in advance, like these are the things that you would want to track in this particular perpetual calendar. Now, different planners have them different places. Some planners don't have them at all, but if you are lucky enough to have one of these, keep it in your planner at all times. Or around your planner at all times, because a good thing about a perpetual calendar is things change. So you may not even want to put that in your monthly planner at that point in time. You may want to wait till you get 2 weeks before that month starts to put it in your planner. All right, now let's go to the monthly overview to give an idea. This is December 2018. As you can see, I did not use it, but I will show you a great way to start to use your monthly overview. So what you're going to want to do. Now, a lot of people don't have a perpetual calendar, so if you don't have one and you don't want to use one, it's an extra step in the process for you. Then you're going to basically use the same information as the perpetual calendar inside your monthly overview. So you would just say Sam's wedding. And then, you know what? Christmas break starts. Now, obviously, I'm making these dates up, but this is just to give you an idea. Oh, sister comes into town. And she's staying with me, so I need to be, house needs to be clean. And you would basically just keep up this whole idea for the entire month. Maybe you have a weird bill due and you're like, okay, tax bill, tuition, whatever it might be that you have to keep up with in an overview for the month that you do not want to forget. Maybe you're volunteering. Oops, Vaughn. Look, I can spell, I promise. At church. That day you would just want to put it, and I wouldn't even, you can include a time if you feel like it's really necessary in that moment. I don't normally do that on the overview, but you can. This also works for scheduled appointments. Like if you have a dentist appointment or anything like that, you write it in your monthly, you keep it out of your mind onto the paper and have it in your monthly. Then as you start planning your week by week, you're just going to basically take that data and you're going to copy that data over, but then you can get a little bit more concrete with it. So we're going to pretend that we're planning for the week of the 16th, or well, really. So one thing I'll say about Happy Planner is they start here on a Sunday, but the weeks start on a Monday. So if you're like, what the heck, it's just the way they do it. But yeah, so some things might seem off, but we're going to start with, let's just start with the 9th through the 16th as the 10th through the 16th, excuse me, as the pretend date. So you're going to come over here as a planner and you're going to look at your week and you're going to be like, well, I know that I have my tax bill due and I know Sam's wedding's due and then Christmas break starts. And so you are going to formulate, okay, so Sam's wedding is on the 15th and it starts at 2 in the afternoon. So depending on how you like to plan, if you like to plan from first to last, a lot of people like to plan like that. So, you can plan per task, you can plan per goal, you can plan per first to last, you can plan like first to last would be start of the day, end of the day, and kind of going down perpetually as you go, which is the majority of the way that people like to plan, I feel like, is that way. But if that is the direction that you like to do and it's the most common and it's the way I primarily like to do it, although mine's kind of all over the place, but I do primarily like to start, with the top being the start of the day and the bottom being the end of the day. Obviously, this is not an hourly, so if it's an hourly, you'd have a breakdown exactly where you want to go. But you're just going to write in here, okay, 2 p.m. Sam's wedding. And then what you're going to do is you're going to think, okay, well, that day is still wide open. So what am I going to do in the morning? So maybe at 10 a.m., because you're not in the wedding, you're going to have coffee with Jill. And then at 12 p.m., you're going to take kids to sitters so you can have time to get dressed. And then maybe at 1 p.m., you're going to grab lunch. 1:30, you're going to leave for wedding. 2 p.m. wedding, and you're going to be there all night. So, hey, end day, right? That day is done. So maybe you're going to go back to the week, and you're going to be like, oh, 13th, I have that tax bill due. You don't want to forget that. So you're going to put bright and early, 9 a.m. Don't forget tax bill. All right, so we have that information in there already. Now we're going to be like, okay, well, the 16th Christmas break starts, so we need to make sure, which really would start this day, but kids do not have school, and I'm a teacher, so, which I'm not a teacher, I'm a realtor, but this, for the sake of this, I do not have work. And what I will say is that my handwriting is already very sloppy, but it's exceptionally sloppy right now in this tutorial here. So then what you're going to do is those are the main things that you're going to start your day with start your week with as far as planning out what the week looks like and what you're responsible for and what those things that you don't want to forget that you already included in this monthly overview section. And of course, most of you have much more to think about and much more to do than what this is included. But those are the things you kind of want to make sure you're planning around. So let's say you know that you're a teacher and you know that you have teacher conferences sometime during the day on Tuesday. So let's just put that 3 p.m. parent teacher conference. And I'm just going to stop right there. And then you're like, okay, well, I got to prepare for those. So I'm going to over here prep parent teacher meetings. So then you're ready to go for this particular day. So what we want to do, and really the best way to use your planner, these are just examples of, things that you might have during your week. But the way you want to use your planner is really identify the things you're looking to accomplish in the week, then put them on your planner, but make sure you need to get anything done prior to that date. So for example, if I'm a realtor, so if I'm showing houses on 4 p.m. Thursday, then I'm going to want to make sure I print any materials prior to and take them with me. So some people might need to write that detail down in their planner. Others may not. They might just need to know that they're going at 4 p.m. to show these houses. However that streamline works for you, you're going to want to make sure that you're using it as part of your day and including that as part of your day. So the purpose of this planner is to make sure that you're running your day accordingly, not that it's running you. Now, the purpose of your monthly overview is to show you tasks that you know you need to accomplish, show you appointments that you've scheduled, and ensure that you're not double booking. But it's not planning out your day. It is just showing you what you need to do. When you get into your weeks, that's when you're really identifying what it is that you need to accomplish and how you need to accomplish it and what you need to do to get there. It's laying out the details of your day.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Now, if you are using a happy planner, then you have this great ability to customize it, pop in some extra notes, keep those in there for reference. If you're using, an Erin Condren planner that doesn't have quite the same ability, you can still pop in notes for each day, and you can just put a little piece of washi tape at the top to tend it, or you can use a great page marker to hold the extra piece of paper in place so you don't forget it. So there's lots of ways to include a to-do list, but I'm a big fan of having a to-do list in your planner if there's specific tasks that you can't write out. So for example, one thing that I constantly need to do is record videos. Hey, I love YouTube. I love everything about it. I need to record some videos to make sure that you have enjoyable things to watch. So I'm going to put on here for Friday that 4 p.m. I need to record videos. Now, what kind of videos am I going to record, you might ask? That's a good question. Um, I need to write them down. So then I take my planner, and I don't know where it is. So, where'd you go? I don't really know. But I take my planner and I take a little piece of paper. This is not that, but I would just write down little notes as to what I'm doing for each video for each week. And then I'm going to pop that in my planner so I know when I'm recording videos at 4 p.m. what videos I'm recording and how I'm going to do them. Now, like I said, Happy Planner has the ability to punch products and put them into your planner. Other planners may or may not have that ability, but that does not mean that you still shouldn't use something and that you might just make a notepad for that particular day. There's also planners out there on the market that are daily planners, and they actually have a daily page. So you'd have a page like this for one single day instead of, so it just depends on your style and what you really love. Yeah, it really just going to depend on what you feel like is the best way to do it for you. But make sure that you're dictating what it is that you want to accomplish in your day. And for me, I primarily use mine Monday through Friday. The weekends, I don't I don't use it for the same way on the weekends. I use it, just not quite in the same way. So those are just different ways to use it as far as that part of it's concerned. Then what I will say is you want to plan your days, you want to plan your weeks a couple days in advance. So don't start planning for the 30th on the 10th. Like you want to plan on the 8th for this week to start, somewhere in that range. Like don't plan too early. If you're a highly decorative planner like I am, by the by, this is the card that I was referring to, these little cards right here that you pop in. And if you are a highly decorative planner like I am, you like to have a lot of stickers all about, you know, you can sit down and do that in advance, although I don't recommend doing it too far in advance. Same idea, a couple days, but you can do that earlier on. But you do not want to put things down in your planner that may change before you get to it. Just say that you already paid the tax bill, you had extra cash, or you just paid it early because you wanted to and you didn't need to worry about it anymore, and that was the due date. You might not need to write down your planner. You would already looked on the task and said, hey, I did this, scratch that off. And so you might not want to do that. Let's say your parent teacher conferences get canceled, and so you decide you're going to record your YouTube videos on Tuesday instead of Friday. And so that might happen a few days in advance where you can go ahead and make those adjustments. So my recommendation is don't pre-plan to the point that everything's wrong and your week is all mishmashed and now you have nowhere to write things down because you like messed everything up. Don't do that. Do it in such a way that you're actually keeping control of each day and you're really staying on course. Now, what I will say is your monthlies should be used as far in advance as you can do them without things changing. So this goes for me a month or two. If you book a dentist appointment out and it's in April and you booked it in December, yeah, maybe put a sticker there, make a little notation of it. But be prepared that when April comes around that you may or may not want to stick with that appointment and have to change it. Your monthly is supposed to be your guide so you know how to plan your weeks and not double book stuff. But it is not supposed to be, it's an overview of what you have to do. It's not supposed to be your planner. So then you take it and you move it. It's just a calendar at that point in time, and then you take it and you're going to move it in and determine how exactly you want to plan each week. So this is, like I said, across the board with each planner. There are some journalers out there and some traveling notebook users who really customize their week and they're drawing it out. God did not give me that much artistic creativity ability, and God bless those who have it, but I'm not one of them. And so for me, that's just too much work and too much effort. If you are customizing your planner in that type of fashion, then this will be really easy for you to do. But if you are, just using a paper planner, like a predetermined one like Happy Planner has, or whatever company you're using, then great. Then that's a great way for you to be able to dictate kind of what you're doing. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that that helps you determine how to use your planner. When I first got mine, I felt a little overwhelmed by it, so it was really helpful for me to see how people used theirs. So I wanted to make sure to cover that for you. Well, I can't wait to see you on the next video, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please click the link above, and of course I will link any videos below that I feel you should also watch. So have a great rest of your day.